Today we're tackling a total mess. This is a massive L-shaped custom koi pond with thick sludge and green furry walls. And somewhere on the bottom, some prize koi my customer hasn't seen in months. But by the time we finish, the water's going to be crystal clear and these fish are going to need to get their sunscreen out. It's a big task ahead, no more talking, let's get to work. Just arrived at the customer's house. Let's go and have a look at the pond. Here we are. Here's the pond, quite unique, L-shaped. It's got some koi in there. Actually quite a big pond. I don't know if the camera does it much justice. But interestingly enough, this used to go all the way around and then down the side of the house, but they had this extension done and then they basically cut it in half, but still pretty big. Filters are running, but obviously not being looked after properly. Bit messy. There's a lot of muck in this one. Plan of action. We're going to set up the big holding tank, drain the water out, fish in the tanks, see what's on the bottom, take all the sludge out. And he also wants us to take out this old feature. That feature's coming out. He doesn't use it anymore. Water's pretty brown, but fish happy. Is George filling up? Hates being on camera. People have said we should get you on more, so.
Who said that?
Very brown water. Look at that. Filter box is hidden away. Okay, we're going to give the filter a big old blast out. So I'm talking quite quiet because there's people working in the garden with us. So look at all that. Look at all that. I'll give you a right old close up. This filter's pretty filthy. The screen hasn't been on in God knows how long. The sponges haven't really been flushed, and I can only imagine, oh yeah, there's loads of stuff at the bottom. So again, another reason why you should subscribe to the channel is because you're going to see all sorts of different types of ponds. My customers aren't enthusiasts. They generally get us in once a year or whenever, do what we do, and then they almost just like leave it. So we've got the big pump, about 15,000 litres of water now. Here we go, blast it out. Cool, so that's had a big old blast out. Now I'm going to show you how to actually clean one of these out if you haven't got a big pump like ours. So these filters, the Screenmatic 90,000, come with a little plug. That goes basically into the inside of the outlet, which is down here. In she goes. So you basically plug that in. Make sure that the handle's down, and then you fill it up with water, sponges, and stop. So just squish the crap out of them. Just open up the back. Pond is finally going down. But George says she's going to do the subscribe thingy for us.
Hi guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe.
Slight change of plan. We're going to take all the water out here, put it back in the pond, pump it out. Instead, we're going to put fresh water, dechlorinated. That way it's nice and clear, because I want to show you guys the fish whilst we're in here, and you get a good idea what they look like. check all the blanket weed on the sides. Problem when it gets like that, all the dirt gets stuck in there and it never really finds its way to the filter. Time to start catching these fishies. In we go. It's quite big, this one, isn't he? They love going to the shallow part. There we go. My customer makes these. That's ceramic. Pretty cool. Everyone worries about parasites and dirt with fish, especially koi, which is just quite incredible. So again, why you should subscribe to the channel if you haven't, is we like to show you examples of basically how majority of people get everything wrong when it comes to fish keeping. So just have a look at this. So these are the fish that just come out of here, and as you can see, there's so much dirt in the bottom. There's leeches, there's all sorts of normal parasites and everything in here. It's 100% healthy. The fish really do not mind this sort of thing. Like, this is just normal for fish. Like, look at all that sludge. So the idea of trying to keep koi in absolutely pristine ponds is just ridiculous. The fish do not care. The only thing by having the pond cleaner, the maintenance, if you keep it cleaner, obviously it's a lot easier to sort of manage and run. But the fish, like, please stop saying fish can't live in muddy ponds or murky water ponds or anything like that, because this is why I wanted to do this channel, to show you. We go to ponds like this all the time, and it's basically like, this is how we've learned what we know, basically just experience. Most ponds we go to are in need of help like that. The fish are more than happy and healthy. There's nothing wrong with them, so you don't have to stress too much about spending a fortune on massive, well, extremely deep ponds. I mean, look how shallow this one is. If I put the camera down, see, that is literally up to there on me. So what's that, 2.5 feet deep, 2.5 foot deep pond with like loads of lovely koi and some orf. Like, what's the point in having it 6 foot deep? Like, if you had to have it 6 foot deep, this is what I've been banging on about in my videos all the time. If koi needed 6 foot deep ponds, every single koi would have to have a 6 foot deep pond. It's just how it is. It's like, if you keep neon tetras from the Amazon, they have to be in like 27 degrees water, maybe a little bit more or a little bit less. Anything too high or too less, they'll just die. But the koi, ornamental fish, like what you see here, are like hard as nails. Like, they're really impossible to kill. Not impossible, but it's difficult. They do prefer murkier water. They do prefer more neglected ponds like this. It's just difficult to maintain, hence why we're here to clean this one out, because it's just everything's blocking up. The customer just can't manage it, and he's not happy with the clarity and stuff, but that's personal choice, not the fish. And again, another good thing about our channel, so when you want to build a pond, we show you lots of examples of how you can improve on a pond. Now, if you were going to build this one again, cleaning this one's a bit tricky because it's flat, so it's fairly the same level all the way around of water. Down there is a little bit shallower, but it's just tricky trying to get the water out. So if you actually purposely designed a pond with a deeper spot, if you needed to clean it out, you can put your pump in your deep end and it just sucks all the water out. Now we have a little bit of a problem because we're going to have to vac out all this water, and it's going to take a bit of time. Speaking of deep ponds, you're going to want to watch the next video. It's going to be, I think it's about 7 or 8 foot deep. It's ridiculously deep. So we're going to go and clean that one out as well. So stay tuned for that. One thing I've noticed about these videos lately is I I sound like an old man when I pick things up. I can hear myself. I'm like, so I do apologise if I sound like I'm straining one out, but I didn't know I was doing it. Right, these old airlines, these are coming out. This is another thing, you know, you don't need all this stuff in a pond for aeration, because the amount of flow that comes out from the filter box, I think it's a 20,000 litre an hour pump on here, and it goes through the filter box. There's like mad aeration going on. So you end up spending all this money on stuff you don't need, like this big air stone here. Love that, and that's holding the airline down. There's another airline here. Don't need that anymore. Then the customer doesn't want this in anymore, so we're going to take this out, and then he wants to put this in. It's not a water feature, but it's got quite a nice sort of Japanese style jungle garden. So we'll pop that in. 2, 3. Oh, that was really heavy.
Bloody hell.
Back, sucking out the water there. Discharges into this tub. Main pump in the tub as well. And then pump it straight out. Drains, that is. Yeah, this stuff's really stubborn to get off. But if you have a pond at home and you want to jet wash off the sides, most liners are pretty strong. But it's okay as long as there's like a solid wall or piece of ground behind it. It's fine. You want to be a little bit careful with the corners, and you don't really want to go too hard. You really want to just get as much off as possible. You don't really want to be like staying on the same spot for too long, getting too close, because you can damage the liner. So sometimes what we do, if you're a potential customer and you want a job with us, is if we can't get it all off and it's still quite fluffy, we'll put in a treatment straight away after, and that should help reduce it down. But generally speaking, you don't ever want to get this spotlessly clean. You're looking about 90%, just to make sure that you keep the liner okay. Okay, so that, I mean, from what I'm looking at on the camera, it looks pretty clean, but there is like a little bit of banker weed still left. But that's not an issue. You really want to get all the loose algae and dirt off, and then the treatment will sort that one out. But from afar, that looks pretty good. There's an old airline hose on there. We'll chop that off. Also quite common this time of year. Water table's quite high, so there's water under the liner, which surprisingly, especially when it's flat like this, you can, you know, walk on it without any damage at all. This stuff's pretty strong, but you've got to be a little bit careful. You don't want to catch anything on it. There she is. Okay, so pond is pretty much cleaned out, so it's just filling up. We put a load of dechlorinator in there, just give you an idea what it looks like at the moment. Okay, there should be enough water for the pump now. Water's coming in slowly. It's only because the pond's still a bit shallow. That'll soon kick in. Alright, see the fish a bit better now. Some really big orphan here. All of them are pretty good, except for one. But apparently he's been like that for a while. He's been on his side and he goes to the bottom quite a lot. And I was explaining to the customer, sometimes they have problems with the swim bladder, so they can't control the buoyancy. Sometimes they go to the bottom, sometimes they go to the top. But we're going to put him back in, and then I said just to keep an eye on them feeding. If he feeds with all the other ones, he's probably going to be okay. Sometimes they can be like this for years and years and years, and they're absolutely fine. It just looks funny to them, but it's quite normal. Just depends what's wrong with them. But hopefully it's just swim bladder issues. But we'll get the fish back in now. Nearly done. Right guys, the pond's finished. It's just filling up. We're going to head over to the customer's house now. It's not the nicest of days. It's very miserable and wet. So obviously it'd be nicer showing you when the sun's out. If you like the video so far, and if you've got this far in the video so far, thank you ever so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hype it for more and support the channel. Here we go. Pond is almost full. Fish are back in. Really clear. All seem happy enough. Eight inches of water to go. Ready for the spring.